Okay, there is an election going on in Canada. If you don't know that, maybe open up Financial Times or something, and they'll explain it to you very well. Or I guess you open up this video, so I will explain it to you as well. So there are six major parties in Canada: the Conservatives, which are of course the Conservative Party; the Liberals, which are on the left and the current party in power, led by Justin Trudeau; Conservatives led by Erin O'Toole; the New Democrats, which are to the left of the Liberals. They'd be like they're like a Bernie Sanders if Bernie Sanders was his own party. Although that's kind of a bad comparison because a lot of the things that Bernie Sanders would want is already true in Canada. So they are led by Jagmeet Singh, who is, I believe, a Sikh. I actually don't know. I think he's in Western Canada, but he is a Sikh who would be, I believe, the first non-white prime minister. Of course, he will not be prime minister, but if he were to be prime minister, he would be the first non-white prime minister. The Bloc Québécois, which is the French Canadian party, which only exists in Quebec, which is the major part of Canada that speaks French. There is a big history there, but I'm not going to go into it. The People's Party, which is led by Maxime Bernier, who I believe is also from Quebec. He's a far right politician. He actually ran for the Conservative Party's. He ran for the Conservative Party in 2017, I believe, during the by-election for leadership. He ran against Andrew Scheer and lost. He lost actually by a very slim margin, and then he left to form his own party, and it performed extremely, extremely poorly inside the 2019 elections. And then you have the Greens, who used to be led by Elizabeth May and is now led by Mrs. Paul, Anna Paul, I say. Her name is longer than Anna. I don't want to say Annalena. It's a Paul. Frankly, she's not important, regardless. So anyway, those are the six parties. The only parties that hold power right now are the Conservatives, Liberals, New Democrats, BQ, and Greens. PPC does not currently have a seat. Bernier lost his seat in the 2019 election. Okay, now, however, the Conservatives, Liberals, and New Democrats are all basically the ones that are really important. So, and BQ, I guess. So those are the important ones, and they're probably going to get a few seats. So it seems as if here, the NDP will gain heavily, while BQ will lose seats, and so will the Liberals. They will lose seats as well. However, the Conservatives seem slated to win seats. The Conservatives need to overtake the Liberals. However, it seems like they're not going to. And the major reason why is because the BQ, Bloc Québécois, is performing poorly. And when the BQ performs poorly in Quebec, the Liberals tend to gain from that. Even though when the Liberals lose, the NDP tends to win, and vice versa. The NDP winning may be offset by BQ losing and Liberals gaining seats in Eastern Canada while losing seats in Western Canada. So that also is combined with the Greens losing a bunch of seats as well. Although it's not really that important. I think they only have 3 or 4 seats now in the current parliament. So Trudeau was leading due to his COVID handling, and then he called a snap election, and it fell. Also you have the Afghanistan crisis, the rising Delta variant, and it seemed like a good idea on August 15th, but after that, it kind of seemed like a very bad idea. So now Trudeau is losing. Well, he's not losing right now, but he's lost support, and Erin O'Toole has gained tremendous support since the campaign season started. Jagmeet Singh tends to be liked in personality polls, but he, of course, will never be PM, so people don't vote for him, at least not in the east of Canada. So the NDP, you can see like these big seats, but these big seats have no one living in them. If we zoom in on the important seats, you can see that Liberals, even though the Liberals are red, even if they look poor right now, there is definitely a case that they do well, and this is not going to cooperate, so let's actually just skip that. Okay. Does it cooperate, or am I just crazy and insane? And okay, you can see like Ottawa has a lot of seats that are all Liberal. Montreal has a lot of seats that are all Liberal. Quebec City, I think this is Quebec City, right? Has a lot of seats that are Liberal. Yeah, Louis Hébert, Quebec. Okay. Yeah, a few others. Moncton. Regardless, the point there is that the Liberals are winning in cities, while Conservatives tend to be winning in rural areas, just like BQ and just like NPD. I said NPD. That's NDP in French, which I switch between very often. Okay, so The big problem with conservatives is that no one wants to work with them. Even though O'Toole is a centrist, basically, or at least acts as if he is a centrist, uh, the other parties don't really want to work with him. So NPD and BQ both would rather work with the Liberals. So even if the Liberals lose, technically the NDP and the BQ can put him in power anyway. So yeah, this is really interesting. Like Theresa May in 2017, when she called that very fateful election that led to a hung parliament, even though she had a majority, she was trying to expand it. Uh, and Trudeau could even lose the prime ministership in 20 of September. So that's something extremely important to keep track of. Trudeau seems so. There have been debates. There were three debates, two in French. They're good to watch. The one in English, which I haven't watched yet, and yeah, I mean, I would say that Trudeau won the French debate, but you know, uh, it's always possible that someone else won if you watch it differently. Of course, Yves Francois Blanchet, who I believe was there in 2019 during the last election, he also did well in those debates, but also he does by default because he speaks French fluently when many other people don't. Okay, so that's important. The second important thing is that Trudeau called the election 2 years in, and generally minority governments are called 2 years in. An election is called 2 years in. So he would lose the election, possibly. He might lose seats during the election. It seems most likely that he does. And if he does, it might go down in history as a very bad political decision, just like Theresa May's when she did that and then had to form a coalition with the Northern Irish in the DUP in 2017. So this is a very bad situation for Justin Trudeau. Could it be worse? Yes, it definitely could. It could be better, 100%. So basically, the Canadian elections are coming up soon, and keep track of them. If you want to know more about that, subscribe to In Progress on YouTube, and we will keep you up to date. With that, like, subscribe, comment. Do you think Trudeau's going to win? Do you like Trudeau? I know a lot of people don't, so I like him mildly, except for the blackface. And if you like him, if you don't like him, comment below, and I will see you in the next video.